Okay, so it is the first Tuesday of the month. Believe it or not, it is March. We are 3 months into 2026. We are 3 months into reading through the decades. So we're very excited this evening. We will be starting the month off with some reading sprints. And maybe some of us will be starting our March pick, which is Richard Peck's A Year Down Yonder. Now, this is a second in a series, but from the way that I'm seeing, I don't think that will make a huge difference in our reading experience. So I think we're okay there. This did win the Newbery, I believe in 2008.
I don't remember the year.
Yeah, I think. So again, reading through the decades for March, all of our books were published within the decade 2000 and 2009. And I do believe when I looked this one up, I because we had all Newberries in our pool, but I'm pretty sure this one in 2008. Anywho, that's what we're going to be starting for this month. We wanted to participate in middle grade March, so this is a middle grade read. So if you are someone who loves to read middle grade, this is great because you'll be able to add it to your reading for the month. If you don't like to read middle grade, you can read whatever you'd like tonight, or you could do dishes or laundry or a puzzle or whatever you'd like to do. But we are going to do it together. Before we do that, we do want to provide the book titles for our upcoming poll for April's books. And I'm going to let Laura go ahead and go through what those will be. So, Laura, take it away.
All right. So we're going back into. Did you get that reverb?
A little bit.
I don't know what's causing it. Let me turn this down a little bit. Does that make a difference?
That's better. I think so.
Hold on. Sorry, professional. Better?
Yeah, okay. I think so.
Okay. Hi. Okay, so going back through the decades, we have the 1990s for April. I'm super pumped. So we have 3 mystery thrillers for April's choices. So the first one is The Firm by John Grisham, vintage 90s cover. And sorry, I watch a lot of Golden Girls, and the first blurb in here says L.A. Law meets The Godfather, and all I can think of is Rose calling it La Law. Like, La Law meets The Godfather. Anyways, sorry. Okay, what's The Firm about? Get to it, Laura. Mitchell Y. McDear has worked hard to get where he is, third in his class at Harvard Law. Aggressively recruited by all the top firms and initially headed for Wall Street, Mitch surprises everyone by joining Bandini, Lambert, and Locke, a very private, very rich tax firm in Memphis. Mitch and his wife Abby move to Tennessee and quickly settle into their new life. They're young, happy, and on the fast track, or so they think. Soon, though, Mitch senses trouble. 2 of the partners die in a suspicious diving accident off Grand Cayman. The firm's management is overly proud of the fact that no one has ever resigned, and security measures at the firm are, even for a company with billionaire clients, more than a little stringent. Then, suddenly, Mitch's vague suspicions come to life. While eating alone in a nearby diner, he is approached by a man named Terrence who claims to be with the FBI. Terrence tells Mitch that the firm's security people have bugged his phone, his house, and probably his car, that he is in great danger and should be extremely careful, that he cannot tell a soul of their meeting, and that the FBI will contact him again soon. Then he's gone. In subsequent meetings with Terrence, Mitch is told that the FBI has been studying Bandini, Lambert, and Locke for years, and that while they have a few legitimate clients, they are most assuredly not a law firm. When Mitch learns who they really are, he is at first shocked, then frightened. When he learns what they really do and how they do it, he is terrified. And when Terrence tells him the FBI needs an informant inside the firm, he realizes he's trapped. The FBI will bust him if he doesn't cooperate, and the firm will kill him if he does. There's no way out. Or is there? Blending the suspense of Ken Follett with the legal intrigue of Scott Turow, this is one of the rare novels that grabs you on page 1 and simply cannot be put down. So this edition is roughly 420 pages. So a bit chunkier, but that's the firm. Next up, we have two starts to series. So we will do Death at La Fenice by Donna Leon. Leon? Not sure. Okay. During intermission at the Teatro La Fenice, Venice's jewel box opera house, world-renowned conductor Helmut Wellauer is found dead, surrounded by the unmistakable bitter almond odor of cyanide. Only rarely is Venice's age-old reputation as the most serene one, marred by an event so scandalous and enigmatic as this, and such an event calls for Brunetti's rare genius. Ordinarily, Venice's peaceable citizenry and its labyrinthine canals, which hamper getaways, make it easy to bring criminals to justice. But Brunelli finds his task far more difficult, for Wellauer turns to have had a large and unconventional cast of potential enemies, among them his young wife of 2 years, a gay director with whom he'd argued just before he died, a soprano who tends toward mendacity, and a once illustrious singer who has fallen into reclusive poverty. As Brunelli fits clues together into an explanation for the conductor's demise, he uncovers a cycle of depravity and revenge that jeopardizes his own sense of right and wrong. Ultimately, will also force him to take justice into his own hands, and a climax at once unusual and uniquely satisfying. Deft probes, this is horrible print. I don't know what this font size is, or style is. It's very hard to read. Deft prose, superb evocations of Venice, and Brunelli himself, pithy, suave, and wise, make this debut a standout. Oh, it's better in the book. Okay, that's good. So, Death at La Fenice. And the very last one is The Beekeeper's Apprentice. This is by Laurie R. King. What would happen if Sherlock Holmes, a perfect man of the Victorian age, pompous, smug, and misogynistic, were to come face to face with a 20th century female? If she grew to be a partner worthy of his great talents? Laurie R. King, whose very different first novel, Grave Talent, drew rave reviews, read the Conan Doyle stories, and wondered about such an imaginary encounter. And following through, she has written The Beekeeper's Apprentice. In 1914, a young woman named Mary Russell meets a retired beekeeper on the Sussex Downs. His name is Sherlock Holmes, and although he may have all the Victorian quote-unquote flaws listed above, the great detective is no fool and can spot a fellow intellect even in a 15-year-old woman. So at first informally, then consciously, he takes Mary Russell as his apprentice. They work on a few small local cases, then on a larger and more urgent investigation, which ends successfully. All the time, Mary is developing as a detective in her own right, with the benefit of the knowledge and experience of her mentor and increasingly friend. And then the sky opens on them, and they find themselves the targets of a slippery, murderous, and apparently all-knowing adversary. Together they devise a plan to trap their enemy, a plan that may save their lives but may also kill off their relationship. This is not a Sherlock Holmes story. It is the story of a modern young woman who comes to know and work with Holmes. The story of a young woman coming to terms with herself and with this older man who embodies the age that is past. So that's that. Oh, I didn't say. Beekeeper's Apprentice is roughly 350 pages, and Death at La Fenice is roughly 260 pages. So, yeah. There we go.
I'm excited to read some 90s books.
I know, me too. They all sound so good.
I think we're gonna find where we're like, oh, that didn't age well. You know, because now we're starting to get into the age where we're gonna start finding little things like this where we're gonna be like, oh, yeah, you don't say that now.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm excited. Any one of these sound good. I think the firm. And on Goodreads, it says there's a second one called The Exchange.
Yeah, but that didn't come out till I don't know, last year or 5 years ago or something.
A long time ago. I wouldn't really consider that a first of the series. But isn't that a Tom Cruise movie?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I thought so. I was thinking Ben Affleck for something, but I think there's a different one that he's in that has a similar title. But yeah, so The community tab on DoubleBookedCo already has this poll up. So if you would be so kind as to make your selections, that will be open until the 16th. We will post that when that poll is over. And then just a reminder, there will be no live discussion on the last Tuesday of this month. It'll be shifted to the following week, which is April 7th. We'll do the live discussion for A Year Down Yonder in the first 30 minutes, 45 minutes of our reading sprints, and then we'll transition to our reading sprints for the evening. So I'll be out of town, so we won't be able to do our live discussion. So, anywho, so tell us in the comments. I know Andy's here. Hi, Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Let us know what you will be reading tonight. And Laura, if you want to tell us first, what will you be reading?
I have no idea. Not a freaking clue. I read You're Down Yonder over this past weekend, and I really liked it.
Oh, good.
So I don't know. I have like 20 books I'm in the middle of, and I have about 10 library books that are due within the next week. So
at least you have options.
I know. I'm gonna go by vibes, like just whatever I feel like picking up, and I might jump around. So yeah, I have no clue what I'll be doing. What about you?
I'm gonna start with A Year Down Yonder. I have it as an ebook on my Libby app, and I couldn't find my e-reader that I usually use. So I'm gonna be reading off my phone, which I don't really like to do in this kind of. I read on my phone all the time, but like when I'm sitting down to actually read, I'd prefer not to. But I couldn't find it. I didn't want to look for it anymore. So I'm just gonna read off my phone. But if I find that I'm not liking that anymore, I am reading middle grade this month. And I started The Great Brain earlier today. I've read this whole series when I was a kid. But I was like, I only have this one. And I was like, I'm gonna reread this because it's middle grade March, and it's been probably 30 years since I've read this book. And I cannot believe I read this as a kid. It is so like, it's not boring, but it's not like kid friendly. It's like really like there's a lot like look how small this lettering is.
Oh,
it's heavy. There's a lot involved in this story. And I can tell you, I was engrossed. I was like into this story, and I read all I think there's like 6 stories to this. Let me see. It was in the front because I was obsessed with things being part of series and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 books in this series, but I'm reading it now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like. Just to get through chapter 1. Chapter 1 was 24 pages long.
Wow.
I know. And I'm like, oh my God. And I remember this. I remember what happened, but I'm like, I don't remember this book being so involved, which is funny because you would think as an adult, I would be like, oh yeah, it's easy to read. Like, I must have been a really smart kid. Because it's a lot. It's a lot of words. Yeah. It's a lot of words, and it's not like kid words. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I'm trying to think, when was this? 1969. Oh man, I should have saved this for my month.
Well, stop it now, and then.
No, it's middle grade. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So what I didn't realize is that it was illustrated by Mercer Mayer, which I love.
Familiar. That cover looks familiar.
Yes, I love Mercer Mayer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna read this.
Nice.
If I'm not enjoying having to read off my phone, so that's what we'll be doing. Awesome. Andy's gonna be reading You're Down Yonder, nice. And I think, Andy, did you mention in a previous live stream that you read the first in this series already? Or was that something else that maybe you were talking about? Hello, Jessica. What are you reading
Yes.
tonight? How are the girls? My kids actually, so we don't do naps anymore. I don't know if you're still doing naps with your youngest, but like we're over the naps now, which is fine. It really it's taken a lot to get used to, but so now they go to bed earlier, which is nice because then I get more time. But today they went to bed a little bit extra early. So they're like probably sleeping by like 7.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which usually I start bedtime around 7. But my son kept like getting really tired, and I was like, you can't fall asleep because I have stuff to do tonight.
Right.
Like you have to stay up
Yeah,
until
stay awake.
bedtime. So yeah, they did. They did yeah. Awesome. Yep. Yeah, no naps. Yeah. You and I are gonna have to do a buddy read soon so that we can chat some mom chat because yeah, I don't know how I make it through the day with no naps. It's ridiculous. And the thing is it's funny because anytime anything happens in your life, you're like, I can't believe I didn't take advantage of whatever was happening then. But it's just always like, but then it was like, I don't know how I was even doing that. It's just, ugh. But yeah, I miss the hour of just downtime in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
But then I didn't have a lot of time at night either. So it's kind of balancing out, but whew, yeah. Oh man. See, yeah, mine are up anywhere between 6 and 7. And then yeah, it's around 7 o'clock. They're like down, they're like ready to go. Um So, boy, whew, girlfriend. Yeah. I just got this. It's not that we have to buddy read it, but I thought I would share it since you're on here. I just got this book off of Libby because I heard someone else say something about it. I don't know where I heard it from, but it's called How Not to Hate Your Husband After Kids. So I'll be listening to that audiobook. It's by Jancy Dunn. I think that's how you say that name. Anyways, enough about mommies. Let's go ahead and get ready for a sprint. Um, did you eye anything up, Laura,
For what?
for reading
Oh
while we
no.
were talking?
No, I got distracted. And
Oh, that's
my
okay.
brain too. I have to call somebody back. A client informed me she gave my number to somebody, but she worded it very weirdly. And I said, do you mean someone's going to call me who's thinking of becoming a massage therapist, or someone's going to call me
Oh,
for an appointment? Because I couldn't tell. And she was like,
right.
for an appointment. I was like, oh, okay. And then I had a client. So I worked, and then after I came out, I had a message from her, but I had that like, sorry, diarrhea of the mouth. I had that spam blocker on or whatever. So like it asks you for the reason you're calling. So I could see her voicemail was like, my name is like blah blah and I'm calling for an appointment. I think, is this a person? Like she was so confused. And I was like, oh, I should call her before it gets too late. And I just spaced and remembered right now, like crap, I didn't call her.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Well, we'll find out after the sprints what you've been reading.
I'm gonna call
Yeah,
her
Jess,
tomorrow. Yeah.
she's got too many options to pick from, so she's trying to
Yeah.
figure it out.
I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, well, we've been finding a good groove with 25 minutes, so we will read to quarter to the hour. So we will see you at the 45. I'll put a little banner up. I have a ASMR picked already. I hope you all like it.
Nice.
And we'll mute ourselves as per usual, and we'll get down to reading.
Cool.
Enjoy, everyone.
Thanks.
Auto insurance all seems the same until it's time to use it. With USAA, it's easy to file claims.
It's the dog park. The old cone of shame, right?
It's called an Elizabethan.
Okay, that was quick. That was quick. I got up to page 25 in the book.
Okay, good.
So I think that's the second chapter. So far, so good. So she just came home with Mildred, the
Okay.
mean girl at school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that whole interaction, like when she first meets that girl, it just, I hate kids. Like,
I know.
I don't hate kids, but you know, like the bullying.
Yep.
And it's like, I remember it from like, you always had some person, it didn't matter who you were, where, like, there's always some kid that was such a jerk all the time. Like, I remember in school, like, there were a lot of kids that sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time, looking back, my guess is there is a lot of problems at home for some of these kids because,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So, anywho, she got to page 32, laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Well, good. Maybe I'll get there. I'm
Something good
assuming, yeah,
happened.
you're reading the same book, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect in reading this. I never remember what the back of the book says. So far so good.
Mm-hmm.
See where it takes me. I had to change the ASMR because it had mid-roll ads and I don't like that. Because, like, why would you listen to something that has like an ad every 5 minutes?
Yeah.
So I changed it.
It was cute.
25% through already. That's good. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I homeschool, and the thing I always hear from my family is they're missing out. And I'm like, missing out on bullying and bad manners. No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. My husband and I, our plan is to homeschool our children as well. And it's I don't want to say it's strange. It's not strange because I understand where they're coming from, but like everyone we say that to is always like, oh, what about socializing? What about this? What about that? And I'm like, okay, first of all, that's not the only place you can socialize. Like our kids are already in like other like kid classes. Like we go to the rec center. We have like they're in classes already. where they are in with other children. We go to the library, there's community classes there. Like there's other opportunities that they can interact with other kids. And to be perfectly honest, especially in the United States, I don't want to send my kids to school on the happenstance that someone's going to shoot up the place. Like I just don't, I'm sorry, but it is not an unfounded fear. I mean, it's ridiculous how much that statistic is growing, and personally I'm just not interested in that. And I just feel like the public school system just doesn't have the capacity to teach every child the way they're meant to be taught. Like every kid learns differently, so I want to be able to make sure that my kids have access to everything that they need always. And that's not like a dig on the teachers. I think they do a phenomenal job, but they just don't have the tools and the capacity. When, say, they have 30 kids in a class, how are you supposed to be able to get to each kid? I'm sorry. So anyways, off that soapbox. But anyways, what we've noticed is that when we go to public places, they say hi to everyone and they are not shy. The other kids seem to be a bit rude and shy. We have to tell them it's okay if they don't want to play. Yeah, my daughter is like in everyone's business. Like when we go to the library, she is talking to adults. She talks to kids. She goes up to everybody, and I'm always like, okay, well, if they don't want to play, it's okay. Like, because some of them are like, whoa, like, chick, go away. But I mean, she's been around so many people because of her medical history. So like, she's so used to just like talking to people all the time. My son, I think he's more introverted, but he just runs around. So he's like, he doesn't care. He's just like, he's off. He's gone. So I don't know. I think everyone has their own reasons for, going to public, private, charter, homeschool, whatever. And there's no wrong way. And there's only the right way for you. Like, so all have their goods, they all have pros, they all have cons, it's all whatever works for your family. And yeah, I've like stopped telling people anything because it's always questionable. They're always like, oh really? And it's like, oh my god, like we have to do this. I mean, this is annoying to me. Teaching high school had 38 kids, 12 had 504S and ERIE.
Yeah.
Yes. No extra help in classroom, had to get real creative, and most challenging class in 25 years. But that's just the thing. It's like, it's not like kids just like grow out of certain needs, and it just progressively gets harder. And by the time they're in high school, they need more help. Yeah. Whatever. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know. That's our plan. My husband's family is a little like they're a little more into it because they did homeschool. So to them it's not odd. But yeah, everyone else is like, really? And what about this? And what about that? And I'm like, do you know how many people in the world have been homeschooled? And especially since COVID, there are so many more so much more out there as far as like more like in online courses and online schools and stuff. So like we will not be for want of access to anything, that's for sure. But anywho, Laura, what did you end up picking up?
I tried a book about Spanish bourbons that's due soon. I'm not reading all of this. I'm reading 2 chapters out of this for a prompt, but this is from the 60s, so it's very dry. So I noped out of that, and then I read 2 chapters in a Caribbean mystery, Miss Marple. This is the 9th one, and then I got bored of that because someone got killed off I really liked, so I was like, I don't read this anymore. And then that's spotty number 2. And then I decided on Antlers of Water. This is like a collection of Scottish nature writing, essentially, but it's poetry, it's essays. I think there's like some photography coming up soon. Just sort of generally stuff about nature and stuff in Scotland. So I got, I think, 30 pages of that read, but there was like a lot of poetry in there. So yeah, I think I'll stick with this. So yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful with Christy because, like, no one's safe.
I know. This is poor little maid who, like, she was quiet and like trying to protect herself for a long time, and then she finally told Miss Marple like what she saw, and then someone must have overheard her tell Miss Marple because now she's dead. So yeah. Anyway, I know. Oh yeah. That's it.
I'm trying to think of the last Agatha Christie I read, because oddly enough, I haven't read a lot of hers, but I've watched the show.
Yeah.
So like when I start to read one, I'm always like, wait a minute, did I see this? Because this is all sounding so familiar. Because they did such a wonderful job with the adaptations.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think the last one I actually read was Murder on the Orient Express, because I had never read that, and I don't think I've actually seen a film version of that. But I know there are quite a few. Yeah. I'd like to read through the Poirot mysteries because I really enjoy the show and I really like the actor who plays Poirot. So I'd like to actually read what the stories actually are from. So, but that's a project for a different year.
Yeah. Wait 10 years till your kids are older.
Yeah.
It took me about 2 years to read all those, and I haven't read the last one yet because I'm not emotionally stable enough to read that one yet. So I also haven't watched that last episode as well because I can't handle that either. But yeah, that's why I'm reading Miss Marple now in order. She's much more chill. Oh, nice.
Brag it up. Brag. We're here. That's awesome.
See? Yeah, I can't with Curtain. I just can't. Yeah, it's too emotional. It shouldn't be that emotional, but it really is. So, yeah. And I read all of the, oh gosh. I have never read her romances she wrote under like Mary whatever her name is, the pen name she used. I haven't read those 6. But so here it is. I read all the Tommy and Tuppence books. Those are really fun. I like those Tommy and Tuppence ones. And then I've read probably a handful of her standalones. I really liked the Sidiford mystery. That was really good. And where's the other one? Oh, They Came to Baghdad. That was really good as well for standalones. But yeah. Oh, cool. Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary Westcott. That's it. Thank you.
Well, switching gears a little bit, I know for book club we're reading a middle grade book. Do you have any plans for any middle grade reads? And you in the comments too. Anyone, any plans for middle grades? I don't even know what the middle grade book is this time around. I'm so out of the loop on things. I
know for some reason
I'm hardly hanging on.
I know. For some reason I wasn't seeing Krista's updates for a long time, and all of a sudden I was like, "Where's Krista?" And I looked, and there's just tons of stuff that was never showing up anywhere for me. It was like, damn. So I just watched her March, I think, spin and roll for her TBR. But yeah, I haven't looked at what the book of the month is, whatever you want to call it. I don't look like the prompts. I have no idea. I have a stack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 10 books I want to read this month, which is hilarious. All like for prompts and stuff. But middle grade wise, I don't have anything except for You're Done Yonder. I really should pull a book or two off of my shelves. I have so many that I really want to read. And they're also so cute. You know, you pick them up like, why haven't I read this yet? What's wrong with me? But then that's true for almost everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing really for middle grade, just lots of other stuff. And are you trying to read a middle grade a day? You're still trying to do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Which
yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna work because I have a vacation coming up, so like we're gonna be gone and there's no way that's gonna work then. So I don't know if I'm gonna like try to like really try hard to read more before. But so far I'm there. because I've read 3 so far, so it is the 3rd. But it's like I was trying to pick really thin ones so that I could get them under my belt. So like I read The Magic Finger by Roald Dahl, and then also the Giraffe, the Pelly, and Me.
Oh,
so
yeah.
those are 2 of his stories that I had not read yet. So I read those. And then yesterday I read Stuart Little, which I think, so I don't think I thought that I had read Stuart Little, and I realized after reading it, I think I am getting, or I got Stuart Little and The Mouse on the Motorcycle mixed up.
Oh, yeah.
Beverly Cleary. Because the whole time I was reading it yesterday, I was like, so this is sounding familiar to me because of the movie. Because I mean, when we were kids, we watched the movie all the time. But I'm like, this as a book, like this is not looking familiar to me at all. And I'm thinking that I got it mixed up with Mouse on the Motorcycle. Because I'm like, when is he going to do the motorcycle?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
And then I was realizing, I was like, oh, you know what? I think this is 2 different books that I'm thinking of. And so I didn't really like Stuart Little. I thought it was weird because the whole premise is that like he's part of this family, and it kind of doesn't even really explain, but it infers that like he was born to this family, which doesn't make any sense because he's a mouse.
Yeah.
So he was born to humans, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because then at the end of the book, he meets another person who is small like him, but she's a person. She's just small. So why wasn't he just small? So it's like a Thumbelina thing. Like, why couldn't it was?
Yeah.
So to me, I was like really just like, at least in the movie, it was like they adopted him.
Yeah.
But it just didn't make sense. Like, because the way that he's originally like described, it's like, oh, he was as small as a mouse. But then all of a sudden it was like, he's a mouse. I was like, I don't know, this is weird. This is too much for me. I don't know if I can.
You have to not read it like an adult. You have to read it like a little kid.
No.
See,
like, that's even more confusing to me. Because like as a kid, so like, so humans can give birth to
Sure, why not?
Maybe I was like,
how birth worked.
I can't suspend that much.
Yeah.
It's too much for me. So anyway, I want to pop back up. So this is referring back to that Mary Westmacott, those romances. And then it looks like, okay, have a couple more middle grade I want to read, but I'm focusing more on March Mystery Madness. I know there's I did see a lot of people doing the March of the Mammoths, which I feel like if we were to finish Serum, there you go, we'd be part of that readathon. But I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen. I know it's not going to happen.
We have like 3 quarters to go.
Excuse me. Read Front Desk Today, loved it. Read Gone Away Lake, liked it. Read 3 times Lucky, just meh. And started Storybound #2. Well, you are just on a roll. Good for you. That's awesome.
Envious. I'm so envious.
Also started The Will of the Many. Nice. Loving it. Oh, good. It's always nice to hear that something's going well. 3 times Lucky, my team. Well, you know, everyone reads things different. Maybe it's your favorite book. I love The Will of the Many in the sequel. Yeah. And I like what I've been doing is just going to my middle grade shelf and just like looking for something. And I'm always drawn to the older ones right away because like I'm thinking like nostalgia. So that's why this is the book that I picked up today. And then when I started reading it, I'm like, this is gonna take me forever. But anyways, I will read that. But I also a little while ago I picked up Mrs. Nimsy and the Secret of the Nymph. So I want to read that.
Mrs. Frisbee.
Frisbee, yeah. What did I say?
I don't know.
Nisby? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's Miss Frisbee. Maybe I said Frisbee.
It's Frisbee.
Frisbee. I said Nisby, I think. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I would like to read that because I don't think I ever actually read that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm like on a mice thing. Maybe I'm trying to read all the mice.
Sure.
But
that was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I watched it all the time.
Yeah.
Cried all the time too, but yeah.
And I have Peter Pan, which is part of my 40 before 40. So I consider that middle grade.
Yeah.
Even though it probably isn't.
How's your 40 list going?
I think it's going okay. I think I'm behind on like the numbers, but I think I'll be okay. I just have to keep going.
Yeah.
What I really need to do is I need to start Mists of Avalon because I don't have access to that in any other format other than physical.
Yeah.
And that book I have tried to start so many times and I haven't gotten more than 10 pages in. So that I really need to just like start like just 5 pages a day. And then like hopefully that will get me done because like if I don't complete this challenge and that's one of the books that I don't complete, like it's worthless. Like that is, I need to get that book done because I have tried and tried and tried and tried. And it's been in my craw. I need it to go away.
Yeah.
So yeah. Too much. Jesse might like it. It was not bad, but just did not draw me in. Others have loved it. Yeah, and Andy reads like so many books. So when you have more to compare to, like it's like any reader, depending on what our backgrounds are, we are more inclined to some books than we are to others. Like there's been books that I have rated really low that people are like, it's 5-star reads. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, it just didn't hit me. So yeah, I think every book's going to have a 5-star rating. Every book's going to have a 1-star rating. Right. It's just the way it is because we're all objective. We read things differently. So yeah. I tried reading a book I had on my bookshelf for more than 10 years. Did you get through it? Because that's kind of what I did is for my 40 before 40, I had kind of like a mix of like books that I really wanted to read, books that I wanted to reread, books that are like classics that I wanted to get to, and then like the majority are books that I'm like, I know this has been sitting on my shelf for a really long time. Yeah. And I have been getting better about getting rid of some of those books that have been on my shelf for a long time that I go, I'm never going to read this. Like, there's no reason for this to be on my shelf because the reason why it's still on my shelf is because I'm like, I don't really want to read it. So it needs to go. Yeah. But the ones that have been on my shelf for a long time, but they're like the ones I really want to read, I've just been pushing them off. I think it's most of it is too is because you own them. So like they're not going anywhere.
Right, there's no due date.
Yeah, but it's like I really need. That's what I was really happy when I finished Poisonwood Bible because that's been sitting on my shelf forever, and it really needs to get done, like go away. And it did, and I was happy I read it. It was actually, it was decent. Oh no!
Oh crap! That's an easy one to get rid of, though, right? That's one thing you can just goodbye it right away.
Yeah. What, if you don't mind sharing, what was it? Unhauling with the book's always been. That book has always been saved. I'm just going to excuse myself when I have to blow my nose. Yeah. Excuse me.
There's so many books on my shelves. I mean, thousands and thousands. And I keep going through and narrowing things down. And there's a few hundred. I think I'm really going to like this. I'm going to like this a lot. I'm really going to keep this one now. And I'm afraid it will be just like what you said, Jess. Like by the time I actually get around to read it, be like, this was crap. I don't want to keep reading this. Like, why did I save this for so many years? Oh my gosh. And there's a couple too that are like starts to series that are science fiction, I've never seen anyone talk about them or read about them. Like one of them is by Felix J. Palma. Why I remember this, I don't know. It's just a duology, and I only have the first book. How am I ever going to find the second book? I mean, I know I will. I'll find it, but like, what if it's terrible too? It's really thick. I mean, it's a big, thick book. Annoying.
A lot of times too, I think, and you have more books than I do, and more space, so to speak, for
No
your
one else
books.
is in my house. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I think for me too, like, and I really have not bought a lot of books at all this last couple of years because I haven't had the time to actually go, and the thrift store that I used to love has like tripled, if not quadrupled, their book prices, which is absolutely ridiculous. But like, there'll be books on my shelf and be like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna read that, but I'm just gonna keep it just in case. It's like, dang it. Because yeah, there's a lot of books that I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm like, no, you bought it. You should read it. And then when I go to do it, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna read something off of Libby.
Yeah.
This Bright River by Patrick Somerville was so good, and then everything went downhill. It was dragging so much for a mystery thriller.
Shoot.
Oh man, I've never even heard of that.
That stinks. I think I know one person who read that and said it was fine. Like it was good, but it wasn't anything either direction, so I don't know if you're missing out much. I mean, clearly it wouldn't matter anyways because you were like, this thing stinks. I'm getting rid of it.
Yeah.
But still, bummer.
I think what's hard too is like sometimes I'll start like a series. Like it'll be like a series that people love, right? And the first book is like, okay. Yeah. I cannot bring myself to read the series then. Everyone's like, oh no, wait, you got to get into like book 3 and then it gets really good. I don't want to read 3 books just to get into the good part. Like, nope.
If they're older, especially, they're not going to be like 400 pages. They're going to be like 250, 300, 350. If they're like 90s and stuff, a lot of them won't be that long. So I have no problem starting an older series because it's like, well, it's like a 2-sitting read for me. And that's no problem. And then it'll just keep going and getting better. Because I have lots of series. I mean, I'm a huge series person, but a lot of them that started in the 90s or 2000s. And I started with the first few books. And they do just keep getting better and better. But I was there at the start. Or my mom was like, oh my God, these are really great. You have to really read them. So like, yeah, this first one was fine. She's like, no, the second one's so much better. I'm like, okay, so I just keep going. Unless it's something I really don't like, I'll keep slogging through. That's why I have hundreds of series, though. I mean, just keep racking them up.
That's why it's like, it's kind of like you had to be there. That's how I feel like unless I started on my own and I keep going, but if it's like a 19-book series and they're like, oh, the first 2 kind of suck, but once you get it, no, I don't want to read 2 books. That sucks.
Yeah.
I'm weird like that. I just can't do it. Just can't do it. I don't know. I think it's too much of a commitment. Or the first book is so good and the second book sucks. And then I quit. Get messages like the third one is better. I'm like, nope. If you're writing a series, it's because the books need to be as good, in my opinion. Yeah. I would do in that situation. Maybe. Sometimes when I'm already in a series, like I feel like a little bit of an obligation. I've been getting so much better at DNFing though. Like I can't even believe that I DNF'd that Zodiac Academy after reading 7 of the books. Because I think there's only like, well, I think in the core group, it's like 9. But I think overall it's like 12 or more. I don't even know. Because there's like so many like in-betweens and prequels. And I'm like, no. And I finally found a video of someone else saying, like, I'm done. Like, I can't read. I'm like, yes, exactly. I don't know why people they're terrible. They're like so bad. And like the thing is they start out bad. Like they start out bad, but you're like, no, it's gonna get better. And you like certain characters, so you just keep going. And then I was at some point, and I know I was telling you in real time, I was just, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. It's this pissing me off.
And they're all enormous books. They're huge.
Gosh. Yes. Anywho, we got off a little bit on some tangents there, but they were fun.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and read some more and see where we get to. So again, we'll do another 25. So that should bring us to 35, 40. So we've almost been just chatting for the same amount of time.
Jeez.
So we'll go to the 40.
Sounds good.
I'll put on our stuff again and we'll see you in a little bit. Delay.
How'd you do?
I got to page, I think it's 47, so I'm starting the next chapter now. It's like Jess switched off to strange buildings, and then she had to take off. Good night.
Good night, Jess.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so 47, which is it's 135 pages long, so
Yeah.
getting pretty good. It's funny, this grandma, not that my grandma did the things that she did, but like it's very much reminding me of how my grandma was in some ways, just like the really like brutal like direct way of communicating. And just my grandma was a big lady, and she's being described as a big lady, so it's reminding me of how my grandma was, and we had to live with her over a summer, so it's kind of reminiscent of some things that I remember from my childhood, so it's kind of nice. But yeah, so far so good. So far so good. How about you?
I got to page 135, and I don't know where I started this time. I think 68. That sounds right. So I don't know how many pages that is, but whatever that is. There were 2 big chunks of poetry, so that made a big difference. And there was one, so when I got this book a couple years ago, I picked it up and just opened up to a random essay and just read a whole essay. So I got to that essay, so I skipped the essay. That helped too with pages. It was all about sea eagles. But yeah. Yeah, it's going good. I'm tired AF, but yeah, it's going good. So
It's like Andy got to 51%.
Nice.
Yeah, these older books have plenty to say about women's
they
sizes
do.
and weight. I think books nowadays still have plenty to say, like specifically in romance novels, like the amount
for sure.
of explanation, especially if it is a larger, female main character. There's just so much description. It's like, why is this necessary?
And all throughout A Year Down Yonder, she talks about constantly how grandma is always wearing grandpa's clothes. There's always something else new that she mentions, like through the whole thing, like a whole rubber suit, and just all this stuff. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about too.
Well, it seems like every time grandma enters the scene, it's some kind of description of how like she takes up the whole doorway, or when she moves, like just how much of a presence she has. And I think it's meant to be both physical and kind of how she holds herself like as a person. But yeah, it's like every time it's like some kind of weird description. Always how tiny she is too. Yeah. Well, and I just read through like the Halloween, so they're like giving the pie or whatever, and the girl, I can't remember her name.
Ina May or Ray or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That girl's as skinny as something with a clothesline, like some kind of like crazy way to say it. And I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah. Yeah. All this, so totally off topic of whatever, but so the scene that they were in talks about food or whatever, and before our live stream, I was just on Instagram or whatever, and some random reel came up where hide in the shadow of the clothesline. Yeah. But a random reel came up of someone eating a Crunchwrap Supreme, and they're like, how is this the first time I've ever had a Crunchwrap Supreme? And they're 38 or whatever. And it's she's like, it's almost been 40 years since I've had a Crunchwrap, since I've had one, because I've had one. And then it said like that those came out in 2005, which is funny because I distinctly remember when those came out, because their whole like gimmick was that you get them and you go. It's like you can eat in the car, like the whole thing. And that was back when the little Chihuahua was the spokesperson.
Yeah.
And so it was like this dude that looked like some kind of like, polo shirt wearing blondie kind of guy who was like, oh, Crunchwrap Supreme. And then he was like driving and eating his Crunchwrap Supreme. And then it was like, no quiero Taco Bell would be like the little Chihuahua.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is I've been eating Crunchwrap Supremes since 2005.
Yep. Yeah, me too.
Like, I love them. I literally just had one a couple days ago. And the funny thing was, when I was eating it, I was like, this isn't really as good as I remember. Because as you know, before I had kids, I was like, Taco Bell was my place. I went when I needed a quick, like, pick me up, like, that was it. And then when I got pregnant, like, I really wasn't craving it ever. And then when I had my son, or I was pregnant with my son, then I had gestational diabetes. So I really couldn't, like, snack at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a long time. Like, I only have just gone back to Taco Bell, and you know what? I'm not impressed anymore. Like, it used to always be like, oh, I needed that. It was so good. And now I'm just like, I'm not sure if I care anymore. I don't know what happened. I don't know if a switch has flipped inside me that's like, Taco Bell. And my husband hates Taco Bell, so he won't eat there at all.
Oh, and you're married, and you feel unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because there's this other reel with Taco Bell where it's like people always ask me, like, how can you eat Taco Bell? Like, don't you have to go to the bathroom? And I'll tell you again, you're weak. your line won't survive or something like that. And I laugh at that every time, because my husband, he cannot eat Taco Bell. Like, he has to go to the bathroom like almost immediately. And I have never had that problem. Like, I can eat Taco Bell whenever, and like I have never had issues eating Taco Bell. So when I've seen that reel, I just laugh, because I'm like, yeah, my husband's family, they have weak stomachs. Like, they have all sorts of problems. And I have never had problem other than lactose. Like, I'll give you that. Okay. I'll give you lactose. But even my lactose intolerance is so inconsistent. Like, I'll have pizza one day and be fine, and then like I'll have it another day and I'll be like, oh shit, literally. Like, I don't know what it is, why it decides one day it's gonna be bad and one day it's gonna be fine. So yeah. My first pregnancy, I ate so much bean burritos with sour cream. Yeah, I think the only thing that I was really craving through the pregnancies was just McDonald's Diet Coke. Like, I know, like, I would specifically go there just for Diet Cokes, like, a lot. But I don't think I had any specific cravings. I had morning sickness, like, throughout the whole day, mostly. Like, so a lot of stuff, I really wasn't eating a lot. And when I did, it was like more snacky stuff that wasn't.
I think you ate a lot of fruit with your daughter, right? I mean, I feel like you were like, oh, I need a lot of fruit, like watermelon.
Yeah. I ate like a lot of like stuff that wasn't like meal stuff. It was more like fruit. I ate a lot of fruit. Yeah. And Diet Coke. But I only like limited to, like, it was like one per day, because you can only have so much. I think I had a lot of toast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really remember anymore. But I know that I didn't eat a lot. I gained a lot of weight with my daughter, like a lot of weight. I don't know how I did that, because I don't remember eating a lot. And then my son, I ended up losing weight because of the gestational diabetes. Mornings, I just had it all. But the third kid, it went all the way. Lost. But yeah, so the book is definitely an it's easy to fall, like just kind of like be
Yeah.
absorbed into it, which is nice. And it doesn't really even feel like I have to keep reminding myself like this is in the late 1930s. So when like they go out to like make sure that the Halloweeners don't get to the privy, I'm like, oh yeah. And then because it's just like I just think everything's in like real time. I'm terrible about envisioning things. I always have to remind myself about certain things. Eat again, repeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird. I can't remember if I had a lot of morning sickness with my son. I know I had a lot with my daughter. Like it was pretty bad. I think it was like morning sickness and like fatigue, like really bad fatigue. Like I remember sleeping a lot, like or trying to, because I just was like totally spent. But yeah, anywho. What are the 10 books that you're trying to read this month?
Okay, there's Life on a Little Known Planet by Elizabeth Colbert. That is for book naturalists, so that's like essays about the natural world. Then Mayor of Casterbridge is the Thomas Hardy pick this month.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Hamnet is the one I picked from my 13 and 26.
I think you'll like that.
I really hope I will. I have to read The Correspondent. That's due on the 10th from the library. That's really popular. Here, let me see.
Oh, yeah. That's new, isn't it?
Yeah, I was on hold for it for like 6 months.
Yeah.
So I have to read this. I also have to read The Women by Kristen Hanna.
A big one.
To me, like I know, like I would say half to 3/4 of my clients are readers, and they all read very differently. But all of them have had to read that for a book club, and all of them have liked it. And I was like, if all these different people like it, I'll give it a shot. And then I already read our book. I have to read the book for the category romance, whatever. So she just picks an author. You read a book by the author. So I have a book checked out on Kindle, but I haven't read it yet. I think that one's the start to like a suspense series. I don't know. And then, so every other month, I either pick a UK memoir last name, and I focus on reading those books, or I pick a series, like a trilogy, whatever. Like I do different things. I roll things for different things. No one would know because I'm not posting anything. I just film them. But this month it was a UK memoir. So the author last name I pulled is D. So I have one audiobook and I have 5 physical books to read for that. Plus I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other books checked out from the library I would like to get through theoretically, which is hilarious, as I know I won't. And then I also want to read Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Pie Society. I haven't read that yet.
That's really good.
Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I want to read that. And a Dick Francis book I need to read. So I would like to read all those by the end of this month. This is hilarious. It's never going to happen.
You can do it.
Girl.
You can do it.
I fall asleep all the time. There's no way. But I'll just keep plugging along and so I can finish. The thing that stinks is that of reading all these UK memoirs, they're so good, but they're all easy reading because it's just someone telling me their life story. It's very easy. So those are the ones I want to read because they're fun. I can check them off. But like that's the least priority thing I have to read. I own them. There's no due date. It's just me making up this own thing myself. So like, yeah. So yeah, it's just a lot. And then now I want to read all 3 of the ones we have for picks for next month. I want to read them all right now. Like,
you have to wait.
I really do. I know. I really want to read them though. I read 2 of them before, but I want to reread them.
Well, I did find out what the middle grade March book is. It's called Max in the House of Spies by Adam Gidwitz.
Okay.
I think that's how you say that last name. So I have not heard of that book. And then the prompts there's 5 prompts. 1 is name in the title. 2, books on cover. 3, historical fiction. 4, siblings featured. And 5, BIPOC author.
Okay.
So
Nice.
those are good prompts.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, for anyone who is doing middle grade March, this is a historical fiction.
Mm-hmm.
So that would fulfill one of your prompts.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks for looking that up.
Yeah.
What else do you have on your 40 list? Peter Pan.
So
Miss the
much.
Babylon. I know.
Let me look, because there's a lot left.
I know. I went through them and I was like, oh yeah, I know you have all those books. Yeah, you'll totally read all of those. But I couldn't tell you one single title right now.
Yeah, no. Let me look myself up here and see if I can.
And you've read like what, 5 or 10 of them? I mean, you've read a decent chunk so far.
Yeah, I think I've read at least 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Maybe.
I think so.
I think it's 10.
A couple short ones.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so The Old Nurse's Story by Elizabeth Gaskell. I did read that. Canary Row by John Steinbeck. The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I read that. That was good. I gave that 5 stars. It was amazing. Dr. Faustus by Christopher Marlowe. The Never-Ending Story. Oh, I should try to read that this month.
Yeah.
Okay. Catcher in the Rye, J.D. Salinger. Lord of the Flies. Could read that this month too. 1984, Tale of Two Cities. Ethan Frome, which I read. The Screwtape Letters. Little Women. Oh, I could read Little Women this month. And I think I have that as an audio file. Northanger Abbey, Peter Pan, Dubliners, The Alchemist, which is a reread. So that should not take me as long as it did the first time. I should be able to breeze through that because I've already read it. Gift of the Sea by Anne Morrow Lindbergh, which that's sitting up on my nightstand because I'm like, oh, I can just pick that up whenever. Sure. But like, I'm also kind of dreading it because like I feel like it's gonna hit me differently than the first time I read it. So like, I'm really putting that one off. Voyages of Dr. Dolittle, Mouse, which is
the graphic novel.
Set of 2 graphic novels, which I've already read, but again,
yeah.
Tuesdays with Morrie, which I've already read. That's one of the rereads I want to do, and I'll breeze through that because it's super short. Kite Runner, I did read. In the Lake of the Woods, it's a Tim O'Brien book. Mm-hmm. I Am the Messenger, which I did read, which is also good. The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry, which I read and I gave 5 stars. That was excellent. I really was pleased with that. Oh, A Gentleman in Moscow. That's a chunkster. I got to get on that. Poisonwood Bible, I read. The Kitchen Boy, which is pretty thin.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. Mm-hmm. Timeline by Michael Crichton. Interview with a Vampire. That's another one that it's been sitting there. I've tried to start it so many times, and it's like the lettering is like this tiny. It's so tiny because it's a mass market, and it's like, and the way she writes is so.
It's really Victorian almost. I mean,
God,
yeah.
it's God.
It's a lot.
Watership Down. I should probably try to read that this month too. Redwall. That could be something I could read this month too. The Mists of Avalon. 1776. The Bone Setter's Daughter. I'm excited for that because I really love Tan's writing. She's so beautiful, her writing. In the Garden of Beasts by Eric Larson. I'm excited for that too because I think he does an excellent job.
Yeah.
Hood Feminism, which I've been really eager to read. The Last Lecture, The Secret, and The Queen's Fool. So how many have I read? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only read 7 of them?
Oh,
Yes, I'm behind then. Because I have like 4 months left.
yeah.
I have to read like 33 books.
Yeah, you can do it. And a couple of them are short and faster reads. You've reread them, that'll be easier. And what'd you say? Like, there's 4 or 5 of them that are middle grade that you could add on this month, maybe.
I'm happy though that I did that, because out of the books that I have already read, I think I have 3 5-stars in there. 2 or 3 5-stars. And you know me, I like hardly ever give 5 stars to
Yeah.
books. So yeah. And I like that it's really forcing me to read a variety of different genres, because I mean, if you go back and you look at all the books that I read last year, I mean, I was down a real deep hole of fantasy, like fantasy, romantasy, like just dark stuff. And not that I'm not reading fantasy now, but like I really like that I'm reading a variety of different genres, because it's not all samey.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking back at the books I read last year, I was like, what the heck? Like, it's really, I mean, now don't get me wrong, I had just gotten Kindle. So I like fell down the whole like, oh wow, look at all these books that are available to me. And then you just like start reading all the same things because that's what it's offering you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I'll figure it out. I have to keep on my like every format, reading something in every format, because that's how I've been able to keep reading so many. Because I mean, this year already, I think I've read 25 books in all. So I just need to kind of I need to make my top tier books be from that 40 list. So that they get done. But I also don't want to make it so I feel like I'm forcing myself to read something, because I don't like that, because that makes me not read stuff.
Right.
So, yeah. But, yeah. Anywho. Well, it is 5 after the hour. Should we do one more sprint and then call it a night?
Sure. Yeah, I can stay with you that.
Okay. I know. I'd like to say no, but I think we only did 2 sprints, so I think we should maybe try one more.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And then we can call it a night. But anywho, okay. So we'll go right to the half hour. And when we come back, we will say good evening. So if we don't see you at the end, hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Yeah,
the next time you see us will be April 7th, because we are skipping the live discussion the last Tuesday of the month. We still will be doing the live discussion for A Year Down Yonder. It'll just be with our April reading sprints. So we'll do that first, and then we'll do reading sprints thereafter. But yeah, so, and then if you're still with us, we will say another good evening at that time. But like I said, we'll go to the half hour and see how everyone did.
Sounds good.
Okay.
What's going on in the book?
I finished the next chapter, which was the turkey shoot.
Oh yeah.
And page like 63. I like the way that the author is showing, like, because you get the first impression of the grandma is like that she's just this like overbearing, kind of like rude, kind of monstrous kind of person. But as you read further, you can tell she's like a real soft-hearted, like looking out for her neighbors. And I like that it's a lot of showing and not telling.
Yeah.
And I like how the granddaughter is also seeing this, because her first thought was like, I don't want to go, like, grandma's there. Like, I don't want to go to grandma's. Yeah. Oh, good. Almost done. Oh, you're listening to it as an audio? Very nice. And spell cannot type on the phone. Yeah, no worries. We know what you're trying to say. We got you. Yeah, so I'll probably finish that tomorrow. So that it's done and I don't forget it. And then, yeah. And I have it on Libby, so I only have it for 14 days anyways. But yeah, I'll probably finish that tomorrow. And then I'll still be on track for reading a book a day. But yeah, how did you do? You still in the same essays and everything?
Yeah, I got to page 197. I got through the photography section, which it's all in black and white. So it's very weird. It's very weird. So it's weird hand-drawn things and clips and Gaelic. Clips are like, like lines or something in Gaelic of all different kinds of things about summer and like the certain down. And it's very weird. I was sort of like, oh, okay, I don't get it. Try and look them up online and see if they're in color for real. But yeah, it's really good. So I've got like 70 pages left, which is pretty good. And I've liked most of the essays in here. They're both really interesting. The last one I finished was about Abhalia, which is one of I think it's the biggest of the 12 Viking festivals they host in the Shetland Islands. And it's like at least 900 or 1,000 men that march through the streets dressed up like Vikings holding torches. And it like winds through the town forever. And then they all end up it's essentially a public park, but they burn a reconstruction of a big Viking ship. So then they flick all their torches and stuff at the end. It's a huge party and all this stuff, and women aren't allowed. And so this author was talking a lot about how she realized how sexist it was. So they've been trying to push back against it and apply to the council, but the council is made of all men and no one will budge, even though there's this nationwide call to eliminate sexism in all areas as much as possible. Like this just sticks and won't stop. And women who do go to the it's like a big party at the end of it all, which the whole thing's a party essentially, but the women that have been in there, like they have gotten groped, sexually assaulted, raped. Like it's just like men can do whatever they want. And I didn't know that it was still happening. It was still this bad. I thought it was that way like in the 80s and earlier, but not, like 10 years ago. So that was a little irritating to read, but interesting nonetheless. So yeah, I'm liking this.
Yeah, that's good. Well, it has been a very long day for me. My children were my children, so I had a very long day. So I think we're gonna call it a night here. As mentioned before, the next time you'll see us will be the first Tuesday of April 2nd, for reading sprints. We're going to skip the last Tuesday of the month here in March. It will be our live discussion, and we're just going to shift that to that first Tuesday. We'll do our live discussion of A Year Down Yonder in the beginning, and then we'll follow that up with our April reading sprints. If you haven't already, jump over to our community tab. We have our 3 options for April reading. That poll will close on the 16th. And it is 1990s is our decade, and we are picking from some crime thrillers. So that would be an interesting selection. So make sure you jump over there. And other than that, I think that's it. So I hope you enjoy our read this month, and we'll see you in April. Until then, you all have a great night, and thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.